What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Vega Conflict. So, I've been hitting the base each time the fleet's ready to fight, and I took out the low-level fleets to see what they could do against a 40 and a 45. They took only about 40% of the total health of damage against the 40, except for I didn't do what I was thinking of doing in the first place, and that was running them up to the edge of the map and letting them do high burst damage. And the reason I built this fleet over Furies was just because Furies would take slightly longer, because you can equip more weapons on them. So there will be a separate fleet that I'll do the exact same tactic. I'll fly them up to the corner of the map. And why fly them to the corner of the combat zone? The Reapers circle your fleet, so how do you counter that? You make it so that they can't circle, so they're sitting still all the time. So you literally have your group face hug the outer wall, and since their group hits the outer wall, they don't move, so they take massive area of effect, which is where the AM warheads come in. And this fleet farmed to a 40 and a 45 before they died, but I let the 45 hit them because I wasn't paying much attention. But here's the good thing. The fact that they hit the 40 and didn't lose a single ship when they were sitting out in the middle, I didn't even move them the entire fight, was actually quite remarkable. So the tactic for them would be fly them up to the edge of the map and let them sit there until you can get Fury battleships, in which case then you do a star formation with the Fury battleships so that every firing arc on the outside around the 6 ships is covered. Except for you won't be using explosives with that group, since you're going to be leaving them in the middle. You're going to be using energy weapons such as thermal beams just so you can hit the target reliably every time. The reason I used missiles on them was specifically so I could do exactly what I said. Run them to one of the outer line combat walls and sit there and make the enemy follow them out and get stuck on them. And to be honest, it was actually worth it. Had I actually gone through with the plan and actually had them all go up to the corner, it would have been better. And the amount of damage they were doing, and they were wiping out ships even on the way up, because the ships, how explosives works, they never hit the target they're aiming for if it's circling them, because they always fire right at it and it always misses because it goes behind the target. However, that's a good thing against the Reapers, because there's always going to be something behind them once they're on top of your fleet. So you shoot at the one in the lead, but you're going to hit everything behind it. And the explosives, since you add the AM warheads, have a large AoE, so they're hitting multiple ships, whether it be for just a tiny amount of damage or their full damage. It varies. But I've also been hitting the 65 barrage fleets, and I must admit, this time around I took half an hour less repair time than I took before, and I actually focused each one, and I kept the battleship fairly close to the group, and I clustered them up a little bit more, so the AoE was not hitting every ship, but a little bit less. Well, I had it so that they all opened fire almost at the same time, because I noticed I spread them out a little bit too much to begin with, and the ones on the outer edges didn't open fire on the target at the same time as the one on the inside did. So I kept them a little bit closer to where AoE couldn't hit them all, though. The battleship normally dies. Well, not only did it not die, it actually got to help destroy the second barrage hive. And that being said, what else? Let's see here. I'm still picking up the resources that I need. I've picked up all 3 of the base ones. once this guy's done refitting, I'm gonna grab this one. I'm gonna refit it. I'm gonna grab both the battleships and I'm gonna put them in a separate group with the carrier, and the carrier and them will be used to destroy the Reaper fleets. So I'll be mass farming them. And I don't think I have anything that needs anything. Well, equipping a module. What one needs to be equipped? That one's good. This one. Perfect. But now, what I'm doing now is I'm slowly upgrading stuff, and I'm going to mark upgrade these guys, and I'm going to run them again during the next alien mobilization or decimation against the low-level targets. And once they get down to the point where it's the Ancient Reaper level 40, I'm going to see how well they fare against them. But by then I will have refitted them with energy weapons, because they'll actually have a different goal than being explosive towards the edge of the map, because they're going to have to engage those Ancient Reapers, and the Ancient Reapers engage from a very long range. So you're going to need to put something on them, so I was thinking thermal beams again. And instead of doing an energy boost, I'll give them the rear thrusters, and I'll give them... I hadn't actually thought of what I'd put on them aside from that, because the amount of bonus weight that you get from putting the special on is just stupidly high. But that's about it for that. But the fleet did work. It did its job. It took about 40%, so 40% of 11 hours, almost 12 hours. You could say it's about 5 hours. Well, a little bit less than that. But in the general ballpark. But they did work. They against level 40, which is what I set them up to be against. And all you have to do is literally, during the combat, all you have to do is just literally jump up to the edge of where everything is, where the red ring is. And you literally just move them out beyond that so that they face hug the wall the entire time. The aliens come up on either side of them. They get stuck, and that's it. You just let your AoE monsters go to town on them.
Standing by.
But that'll be it for this. They did work. I just wanted to inform you all. They could be better, so if you have a better design, maybe using manifold. Actually, the manifold would be better because it would spread out more quickly into the enemy targets. I'll have to try fitting like that later on with this little group. But that's going to be it for this. If you have anything to add, or if you have any tips or tricks for other players, feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you have any suggestions of content you want to see, feel free to leave that in the comments below as well. If you just want to say something, hi, or what's up, or whatever, feel free to. But that's going to be it for this video, and as always, I will see you all in the next video. But before I go, I'd just like to say, I hope you all have been having a very pleasant day. If not, I hope it gets better. I'll talk to you all again soon.